10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Time, every lock will change, but you love me all the same.
The officers will take their stations and the Grand Order of the Al-Azadi Ghalib will come to order. Alif Shoter Gadol.
Grand Alif Sagan.
Are all present members of AZA, BBYO, or guests?
Grand Alif Sagan. All members present are of AZA, BBYO, or guests.
Grand Alif Moray.
Grand Alif Sagan.
See that the Shoter Gadol is on guard and knows his duty.
Alif Shoter Gadol. The Order is about to study some of the beautiful symbols of patriotism in Judaism. See that we are not disturbed by idlers. Grand Alif Sagan. The Order is safe from intrusion.
Grand Alif Moray, why do you seek admission to this order?
To join with those Jews who have dedicated their youth to clean living so that they may become manly men.
Grand Alif Maskir, what are the qualifications for membership?
To be son of a Jew, of good moral character, and to be filled with the desire to be helpful.
Alif Shoter Katone, will you present to the order the colors of our countries?
Grand Alif Sagan. It is my honor to present to you and the order the colors of our countries. The red and black of Albania, the blue, white, and yellow of Argentina, the red, white, and blue of Australia, the red and white of Austria, the green, white, and red of Belarus, the blue, white, and yellow of Bosnia and Herzegovina, the green, yellow, blue, and white of Brazil, the red, green, and white of Bulgaria, the red and white of Canada, the white, red, and blue of Chile, the red and yellow of China, the yellow, blue, and red of Colombia, the blue, white, and red of Costa Rica, the red, white, and blue of Croatia, the red, white, and blue of Cuba, the blue, white, and yellow of Curacao, the white, red, and blue of the Czech Republic, the red and white of Denmark, the blue, white, and black of Estonia, the blue and white of Finland, the red, white, and blue of France, the red and white of Georgia, the red, black, and yellow of Germany, the red, white, and green of Hungary, the green, white, and orange of Ireland, the blue and white of Israel, the red, white, and green of Italy, the blue and gold of Kazakhstan, the red and yellow of Kyrgyzstan, the red and white of Latvia, the red, green, and yellow of Lithuania, the white and red of Malta, the green, white, and red of Mexico, the red and yellow and blue of Moldova, the red and gold of Montenegro, the red, white, and blue of the Netherlands, the red, white, and blue of New Zealand, the red and yellow of North Macedonia, the red, indigo, and white of Norway, the red and white of Peru, the white and red of Poland, the blue, yellow, and red of Romania, the red, white, and blue of Russia, the red, white, and blue of Serbia, the red, white, and blue of Slovakia, the red, green, black, yellow, and blue of South Africa, the red and yellow of Spain, the yellow and blue of Sweden, the red and white of Switzerland, the red and white of Turkey, the blue and yellow of Ukraine, the red, white, and blue of the United Kingdom, the red, white, and blue of the United States of America, the yellow, white, and blue of Uruguay, the blue, white, green, and red of Uzbekistan, the yellow, blue, and red of Venezuela.
This year, a Grand Alif Kohen Gadol will lead us in prayer. Mark Plotkin of the Al-Azadi Ghalib.
Our Father, who art in heaven and in our hearts, we humbly ask Thee to help us to be worthy sons of Thee, to lead clean lives, to think clean thoughts, and to do decent deeds. Help us to be good Jews, loyal countrymen, honorable comrades, and worthy of the commendation of all good men.
I now declare this special meeting of the Grand Order of the Al-Zadi Galef of BBYO open for business. Al Shoter Gadol, inform the Al Shoter Katon.
We are gathered here today for the purpose of accomplishing our business at hand. But more than that, we and all the chapters in the world are working toward a great goal. This is a goal toward which each of us can help, a goal towards peace and happiness for all humanity. This can be accomplished through the Menorah Pledge principles. Let us now think of what we can do to bring our goal to a speedier realization. Let us give our wholehearted attention to the words our Shomer Habrit shall now read.
The greatness of a community is most accurately measured by the compassionate actions of its members. Coretta Scott King.
We are the B'nai B'rith girls. Strength and dignity are our clothing. Our faith is renewed after hearing such fine words of wisdom. May we in our deliberations at this meeting live up to the expectations and high ideals we and the B'nai B'rith girls have set for ourselves. I now declare this meeting officially open for business. I would like to call on those Olives and B'nai B'rith girls who will recite the Menorah Pledge principles. The light of the menorah symbolizes the knowledge and strength of our order. The 7 branches represent the power we have to affect the world by enriching ourselves. Citizenship.
We pledge our devotion to our beloved country, whose blessing we shall never take for granted. We shall guard zealously our democratic rights and shall fulfill our duties as citizens.
Patriotism.
Loyalty to my homeland, to its laws, to its principles, to its ethics. To die for it if need be, but primarily to live for it.
Jewish heritage.
We have a magnificent Jewish heritage which has enriched the civilization of every land. We shall aim to become imbued with an understanding and love of our Jewish culture so that we may be a conscious part of the people from whom we stem. We shall always strive to live up to the ideals which are the essence of the Jewish religious faith.
Filial love.
Ever to honor and love my parents, to be considerate of my elders, and to respect age.
Community service.
We recognize our responsibility to render selfless service as citizens of the community in which we live.
Conduct.
Never too bold, never too forward, ever humble, ever observing the principles of gentlemen.
Philanthropy.
We shall always be concerned with the underprivileged and the distressed. We shall offer our help to those in need, recognizing that the ability to help others is a blessing and a responsibility.
Fraternity.
A spirit of sociability, of cooperation, and of friendship toward all olives that shall make us one fellowship. A love of and loyalty to AZA and its ideals.
Interfaith relations.
We represent one of the faiths that make up the diverse pattern of the world. We shall learn to understand and respect our neighbor. We shall so live as individuals and groups that we may reflect credit upon the Jewish people.
Judaism.
Always to observe the tenets of my faith, ever to do justice, love mercy, and to walk humbly with the Lord my God.
Tradition.
We shall try to exemplify in our homes the finest of Jewish family traditions.
Charity.
To give myself and my substance for all worthy causes, to be kind and generous to all in need, regardless of race or color.
Good sisterhood.
We make possible the warmth and joy of good sisterhood through our association in chapters. We shall respect the rights of each member. We shall make our chapter a true example of democratic living so that companionship and friendship may endure.
Purity.
To keep my soul pure, my mind active, and my body healthy.
Prayer for world Jewry.
Lighting the candles is a privilege we, as B'nai B'rith girls and as Jews, are able to exhibit. Although we understand that there are Jews in the world who cannot openly express their Judaism, we hope that one day all Jews will be able to practice Judaism as freely as we are doing here today. It's our hope that our small individual flames can come together to create a larger light that burns so brightly, the light of our Jewish pride.
Please join me in the recognition of Israel with the singing of the Hatikvah.
Shavua Tov, BBYO.
My brother Olives.
My sister B'nai B'rith girls.
Today is the first day of a new week. The first day of a new chapter for our movement.
This hour of International Convention 2021 is the one moment of our 5-day event intended for all teens everywhere. We know some of you are up pretty early and others are up very late. We're glad you're here. We can't be our best self without you.
We're grateful for the opportunity to address you today as we carry tradition forward and offer our thoughts on the state of our order.
Maybe, just maybe, there's an upside to consider. When we're together in person at IC, we speak of the movement at large, but direct our energy to those in the room. Today, we have the chance to share our vision for our brotherhood and sisterhood's future. We can't wait to be back together, but as we roll with the currents of an unusual year, we strive to find the silver lining in every opportunity and move forward with grace.
So don't be fooled. Even though we're reaching out to you through a screen, we can see your enthusiasm and we feel your energy. We're excited to share this annual tradition with you.
Serving as your Grand Olive Gadol and International Nasiya has been an unbelievable honor, and it happens to be that the year we're so honored to be a part of is one we had never dreamt it could be.
When we returned from IC in Dallas just last year, and we set foot in our bedrooms following a magnificent weekend of impact, celebration, and proximity with the people that make us a movement, we never imagined that our year of service would end up being anchored from those very same bedrooms. So no, the last year isn't exactly what we dreamt about. But the truth is that while it's been a way different year than we had planned, it's been every bit as amazing and inspiring as we had hoped. Sometimes, you don't know how wild your dreams are until you live them yourself.
This last year has shown us, perhaps more than at any time in our history, how strong, resilient, and adaptable AZA, BBG, and BBYO can be. We have done far more than simply endure. We've thrived. And much like the 5,000-year history of the Jewish people, the vibrancy of our movement will shape our legacy. We can do anything as long as we do it together. This year proves it. This international convention reaffirms it. United, we rise.
Resiliency is part of who we are. It's in our DNA, as Jews and as members of AZA and BBG. You may remember that during opening ceremonies, we shared with you our long-standing tradition of meeting adversity head-on. We've done it since the birth of the Olive Tzaddik Aleph and the B'nai B'rith girls, through pivotal societal changes, and now, through a global pandemic. Sometimes those hardships are external, global in scale, and require us to join with others to make a difference, like advocating for civil rights, freeing Soviet Jewry, or defending Israel in biased international forums. And other times, the difficulties we face are closer to home, like a snowstorm canceling an event, a fundraiser that falls short of its goal, or a world war pausing international gatherings.
Thousands of olives in the United States, in Canada, in the United Kingdom, in Western Europe, in British-mandated Palestine, in Egypt, in Syria, in China, and elsewhere, served in the military during World War II. So many olives served that it was in the early 1940s, 2 decades after our fraternity's founding, that the age minimum for membership was lowered from 21 to 16 to ensure AZA would continue to grow. As BBG's momentum proved to be permanent, and both orders prepared for their conventions in 1943 and 1944, it became clear they simply couldn't happen. You already know what happens next. We figured it out. We got creative. We endured. Our predecessors, our big brothers and big sisters from both a very different and very similar time, did what they had to do for both BBYO and for the world at large.
With limited options, they established an early version of the International Leadership Network, entirely coordinated by telegram services. They voted for the International Board by mail. They worked through every challenge that came their way, and they did it together. And while we have shofar newspaper articles that certainly express the disappointment of not having IC those years, what we see more of is evidence as to how our leadership expanded our movement. The best way for our predecessors to contribute to the war effort, to preserve democracy, and to strengthen the Jewish people? Strengthen AZA and BBG.
We represent an outcome of that generation's legacy. It wasn't what they had envisioned for their teenage years, and it wasn't what they had hoped their BBYO experience would be. But just because something is different doesn't mean it has to be less than or bad. They focused on what they could do. They set their imaginations toward progress. They did more than keep things going. They chose to rise. Our movement is built on actions like theirs.
If they could do all that in the face of a world war and spooked by rumors of a Jewish genocide, it certainly puts our virtual year in perspective. Doesn't it?
Now, we're not at all minimizing how tough the last year has been. Our lives have been disrupted, important milestones have been missed out on, and plans for our future are shifting. We totally get it. We're living it alongside you. This is our youth too.
And yet, we think it's important to reflect on how downright awe-inspiring AZA and BBG have been since the onset of the crisis. Decades from now, it will be the leadership you have displayed during this time that will be cited as examples of resiliency, persistence, and our core values applied. Jewish tradition reminds us that the decisions we make today affect all those yet to come. The state of our order is strong. AZA and BBG are healthy. This will be our legacy.
Nearly a year ago, faced with the unknown, we navigated rumors of all kinds about an emerging virus that was making its way around the world with little notice. We immediately got to work. We weren't about to let anything diminish our momentum or make it hard to connect.
Over 3 days in mid-March, BBYO On Demand was born. Our miracle platform sustained and strengthened our movement in unforeseen ways. Over 11 months, we've hosted 150,000 visitors across more than 6,500 programs organized by you, all of you around the world. Nearly 500 organizations partnered with us, and we set the standard for how the entire Jewish world would move forward in the COVID-19 era. We united. Hundreds of Olives and B'nai B'rith girls worked together around the clock to produce a phenomenon that showed the world BBYO's teens cannot be stopped. We chose to rise.
This will be our legacy. Every generation that follows us will know for certain AZA and BBG can do anything we choose to. United, we rise.
A month into our digital adventure, we partnered Hollywood and Broadway to produce one of the Jewish community's most shared experiences in modern history, Saturday Night Seder. Millions of viewers saw BBYO's teens answer the call to raise millions of dollars for early pandemic relief. Those funds saved lives and struggling families, made sure first responders were taken care of, and helped make early vaccine research possible. This will be our legacy.
BBYO's farthest-reaching annual movement initiative is JServe, the International Day of Jewish Youth Service. By April, we understood our new reality, and so all of you across hundreds of communities around the world pivoted to ensure that thousands of Jewish teens could still improve their communities. With a new focus on pandemic relief, chapters donated personal protective equipment, showed appreciation for hospital staff, and comforted senior citizens closed off from the world. While society stalled, you worked with each other to deliver all kinds of mitzvah projects to the vulnerable and those in need. You took care of your neighbors, supported local charities, and helped protect those at risk. This will be our legacy.
And as the weeks turned to months and the future became increasingly uncertain, we knew we were at an unprecedented moment in our movement's history. BBYO had never canceled a summer, and we weren't about to do so now. Within weeks, we offered a full menu of international training experiences online for nearly 1,000 Olives and BBGs all over the world. With travel limited, we saw European communities build safe programming and terrific local camps. Our August Executives Conference hosted more than 2,000 chapter officers and community leaders. And we added a brand new programming fold, health. This will be our legacy.
Our summer of advocacy and activism gave way to our Voice Your Vote campaign. BBYO's expanded its voter education, voter registration, and pathways to civic participation. Our movement enabled thousands to register to vote, connected hundreds of chapters to voting resources, and we recruited hundreds of polling station volunteers to ensure that every American that wanted to vote could vote fairly and easily. In countries around the world, stirred by the US election, chapters held events with local elected leaders and explored local democratic practices. This will be our legacy.
Regardless of all the twists and turns that the world threw at us, we stayed true to our teen experience. Chapters held thousands of fun and meaningful programs for countless teens all year long. We built hundreds of experiences around popular teen interests, brought the world's talent and expertise face to face with you, and we sustained a year of chapter tradition as well as Jewish ritual, just online. We launched 37 chapters last year. BBYO sprung to life in Montreal, Quebec, in Santiago, Chile, in Malta, in Montenegro, in Oslo, Norway, in Bucharest, Romania, and Johannesburg and Cape Town, South Africa. We met and made friends close to home and around the world. Olives and BBGs found college roommates. Some of you found family that you never knew about, and some of you even found love via BBYO On Demand. We built community and strengthened Jewish life in so many ways. This will be our legacy.
It's crazy to think about. How is it possible that the noble actions of teens just like us almost 80 years ago can so deeply affect the way that we live today? But that's just how deep our roots go. We are an order inspired by the vision of those who come before us, framed by the lessons of those who offered us membership, and propelled forward by those who dare to raise the bar.
And so, the question begs, what's next?
How will we influence the next generation of BBYO? What hardships will we face? How will we let what we learned shape us and prepare the movement to be ever more resilient for those Olives and BBGs who follow our lead? How will we shape Jewish history?
Progress is guided by those who seek change and cemented by those inspired by a movement. It is on us, the teen movement, to write our legacy together. United, we rise.
Regardless of what the future months bring, more virtual, more hybrid, a return to in-person, the format doesn't matter. We must continue to prioritize strengthening our chapters, start new chapters, coach large chapters to give away to additional chapters, creating new leadership opportunities for more teens. When an Olive or BBG is greeted with open arms upon arriving at a BBYO experience, they should be met with experiences where anyone can find themselves, be themselves, and enjoy themselves. Our members can learn this in lots of ways.
From upperclassmen, from regional leadership institutes, and from their own experiences. But every Olive and BBG can be guaranteed to get this training, and peers to support their efforts all year round at BBYO's summer programs. Prioritizing your summer at CLTC or Perlman or Passport prioritizes fun, friendship, new experiences, exciting destinations, and skills for life. You'll be able to strengthen the BBYO experiences of your peers because you'll have community organizing abilities and a network you'll leverage for the rest of your life.
And as we think about the many Olives and BBGs eagerly waiting for their chapter experiences, we know it's not just the faces we see all the time that should be present. We need to invest in upperclassmen, in members with busy schedules, in members once involved that we haven't seen in far too long. And we must recruit the next class of AZA and BBG to secure and strengthen our future. Not only BBYO's future, but the future of the Jewish people. Remember, teens involved for BBYO's sake is good, but not the goal. Teens involved in BBYO are teens involved in Jewish life. It's wild that whether any of us are successful with any particular phone call or text message or car ride could fundamentally determine whether a teen grows up to be Jewish because they were hooked by BBYO or they weren't and do not. We can do this. We need to do this. We want to do this.
Who will be the next Aleph or BBG to pull in the teen they've always hesitated to reach out to? Who will be the next Aleph or BBG to pull in an entire B'nai Mitzvah class? With thousands of teens within arm's reach to join our siblinghood, it is on us to ensure that their experience doesn't start and end before they choose us as family. An Aleph or BBG engaged through the end of their 5-year experience strengthens the movement by contributing talent and wisdom. They inspire those who come after them, all while enriching personal growth and meaningful fulfillment as a member themselves. And so we must ensure that our members are motivated to consume and equally provide the BBYO we all know and love. Thus, we need to make sure that the BBYO we provide is something teens can't wait to consume. If we do this right, older members will stick around through graduation, befriend new recruits, and pass along tradition, mentorship, and establish long lines of friendship across generations. AZA and BBG will be all the better for it. This will be our legacy.
The future we foresee, particularly following the pandemic's end, will be built upon intense connectivity. People miss people, and there will be immense demand for platforms which teens can meet others, make friends, and share experiences. As we continue to think critically about the ways that we are connecting our teens to one another, to the movement, and to the Jewish community, we must prepare to seize this monumental opportunity, and part of what makes BBYO's community so thrilling to be a part of, and why so many teens feel a part of something so much bigger than themselves, is because BBYO is connecting the Jewish communities across the globe like never before.
With every day that passes and every action taken, it becomes more and more clear. BBYO is approaching a tipping point worldwide. If we capitalize on this moment, if we create the platform for Alephs and BBGs to share and grow alongside others with vastly diverse experiences, we can give our teens a new way to enjoy BBYO, a new way to grow as leaders, and a community building experience that can't be found anywhere else. We encourage you and your chapters to use this time while your programming disproportionately allows you to focus on strengthening your chapters to build relationships with other chapters, states, provinces, and countries away. Global Connections will deliver enhanced programs to our members, and connecting globally will help strengthen chapters by sharing best practices universally.
As Alephs and BBGs, we represent teen voices throughout the world. Our values provide us a lens through which we can effectively encourage thousands of teens to really knock philanthropy out of the park, take meaningful and impactful stances on causes we believe in, and commit real time toward making our communities better places to live. We must never lose sight of what we're capable of. There's no cause that a teen with the right intention and a healthy dose of hard work can't leverage BBYO to positively contribute to. We must embody the expectations of our ancestors, both in our movement and in Jewish life, and leave the world in a better place.
And as we focus on causes important to us, we mustn't forget about our own Jewish community, including the huge role we can play in more deeply connecting thousands of Jewish teens around the world with the state of Israel and the principles of Zionism as they were intended. We know that Israel education and Israel advocacy mean different things to different people, but with elevated educational experiences, guidance on how to have complicated conversations, and more opportunities than ever to visit Israel, we can broaden the community of teens who wish to explore a relationship with the Jewish state. For those teens who wish to advocate for Israel in public spaces, we can provide those opportunities. And for those teens who are focusing on strengthening Israel's democracy and pluralism, we can support that work too.
Using our platform for good, however, requires more than just deciding where to put our energy. It requires making ourselves a platform in the first place. Without real, meaningful funds, we are limited as to how we can help correct injustices around the world. Without the funds to sustain healthy chapters and communities, we can't expect our leaders to push the boundaries of defining success. While money is far from the answer for everything, Having enough teen-managed funds opens possibilities for how we can impact charities or enhance the programming we're offering to local teens. That is why we'll utilize our International Service Fund, our teen-governed treasury, to give our executive body the voice and platform to make tangible change when they see fit. Returning to a practice of allocating International Service Fund annually will amplify our impact in new ways. But we also need to make sure we're raising enough each year, for chapters and for the Order's ISF goal at large.
That is why we'll give chapters an ultimate platform for success by expanding our coaching on fundraising, utilizing order-wide fundraising tools, and continuing to focus Game Changer grants on chapters and events that can deliver a high-impact experience or welcome new teens effectively. This is our movement, and we must be active partners in expanding the financial resources we commit to stand-up causes, local programming, chapter expenses, and scholarship when possible. This will be our legacy.
Through it all, as we focus on elevating our movement to its fullest potential and defining our legacy, we know that the people that love and surround us come first.
For it is the brotherhood and sisterhood that we foster that is core to all that we do. The people we interact with, the impact we make in each other's lives, that is who we're doing it for. And those are the people who will shape the future for us.
At this moment, during this special weekend, we stand here, attentive to the movement and excited about the vast networks of OLIFs and BBGs we get to interact with. Everything we have and will experience during the International Convention will amount to a week that will go down in history.
But yet again, the question begs, what's next?
We'd like to give you a moment to answer that question. Right now, we'd like you to click on the link we're posting in the chat. Once you're in, share with us what legacy you want to leave on the OLIFs and BBGs in your community. How will you affect one life, one chapter, or the Order on a global scale? What do you want to be remembered by? How will OLIFs and BBGs benefit from your influence like we did from those before us?
Once you're done, we invite you to read over the goals of your brothers and sisters. It is moments like these that we see the true power of our global BBYO movement. Every teen, every voice has an important role to play. United, we rise.
The actions you take will not just write your legacy in our movement, but in the hearts of every OLIF and BBG that you inspire.
When we reflect on the growth we've experienced in BBYO, no matter if it's been 5 months or 5 years, it becomes clear that the words and actions of our brothers and sisters profoundly affect how we grow as people. As we navigate our daily lives, we find ourselves using the skills passed to us by our peers and a compass of values built upon millennia and tradition and a century of mentorship.
And it makes sense. We are a movement built of people who care. The people who care to build upon the vision of those before us. The people who care to teach others the lessons we were taught. The people who are bold enough to change the world. The people who care about each other.
Alone, we are thousands of Jewish teens with passion and a desire to grow. But united, we are thousands of Jewish teens that can share our passions with one another so that we may grow together.
Alone, we are thousands of Jewish teens roaming a world filled with uncertainty, unsure of where to go. But united, we are thousands of Jewish teens that can follow in the footsteps of the generations that came before us and lay forth the path that the next generation will walk after us.
Alone, we are thousands of Jewish teens motivated to change the world for the better. But united, we are thousands of Jewish teens who can amplify each other's voice, share talents, and collaborate on big, important projects as one force for good to be reckoned with.
Alone, we are thousands of Jewish teens seeking meaningful experiences, the kind that make you smile and the kind that make you think. But united, we are thousands of Jewish teens that can inspire, comfort, and excite one another as we learn, explore, and challenge the world together, week after week, at program after program, everywhere teens are.
Alone, we are thousands of Jewish teens wishing nothing more than to have our arms around each other today. But united, we feel the power of our movement regardless. We know that even though we may be in different places in every corner of the world, we're standing shoulder to shoulder. Our hearts are connected and our souls are intertwined.
We know that while we may be in different places today, this community affirms that we are surrounded by love. And we know that even in a year of uncertainty, we couldn't be healthier, stronger, more capable of making every chapter program or team great, and more able to improve the world. Today, we invite you to declare with us, there will be no more excuses. We'll let go of any disappointment, and we'll look to see opportunities where others might see challenges. This will be our gift to the future. This will be our legacy.
Alone, we cannot write the next chapter in our 97-year-old history, but united, we rise.
Fraternally submitted with undying love.
Submitted with undying love,
we remain the 96th Grand Board of the Aleph Tzadik Aleph
and the 76th International Board of the B'nai B'rith Girls,
guided by our past
and driven towards the future. Every year at IC, we're thrilled to celebrate with the people who make our movement move. We're always grateful to our community, but we're particularly grateful to our mentors, friends, and leaders for guiding us through this year unlike any other, keeping us motivated and ensuring AZA and BBG are strong in every corner of the world. We're thrilled to share the recipients of our AZA and BBG individual and chapter awards. Let's get loud in the chat and celebrate those leading the way.
What are you thinking? What are you drinking? Sitting on your own. What are you feeling? Is there a reason why you're holding on? Because you got me wondering about all the things that we could be. And that you should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Say where you want me. You know I won't be leaving you alone. I know you like it. Feel like we're flying into the unknown. Because you got me wondering about all the things that we could be. And that you should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. You know I'll do you right. I'll never have you die. Just leave your world behind. Should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Should surrender to me. You got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Behind me, you got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be. Got no clue you're meant to be, meant to be.
Hey! I'm under pressure, underpaid and working overtime. I mix a pleasure with the pain, I make it rain tonight. Ooh, no one said it would be easy. Ooh, knocked down, but I just keep my head up high, 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 oh, high, high, high. Stuck on the ground, but I just keep my head up high, 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 oh, high, high, high. Keeping my head up, head up. Keeping my head up, head up. Summertime, I'm running circles trying to find another finish line. Plugging that power system, light up that optimism. Even on my darkest days, I get knocked down, but I just keep my head up high, 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 oh, high, high, high. Stuck on the ground, but I just keep my head up high, 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 oh, high, high.
Let's give another virtual round of applause to recipients this year. Send those claps in the chat. Our movement thrives because we feel ownership over what we do. Every Aleph and BBG knows they have a stake in this historic movement that we continue to build and grow every day. While we're in the driver's seat, we know the car wouldn't be running without our network of hundreds of volunteers advisors from around the world. They're alumni, parents, friends of BBYO, community leaders, mentors, friends, and so much more to us. And they deserve all of the praise and recognition in the world for giving their time to help make our experience at AZA and BBG possible. Each year at IC, we honor a few of our outstanding advisors by awarding the David Bitker Unsung Hero Award, nominated by teens worldwide. Dozens of advisors were in the running this year, and we're so excited to share this year's recipients with you now.
What's up, Craig? Wanted to give you the hugest congratulations on being BBYO's Advisor of the Year for 2021.
He is more than just an advisor to us. He's really a friend more than anything. When I heard that you won, I was so happy because in the past 5 years that I've been in BBYO, I've truly seen how hard you work and how much you care about me and the rest of the Olives in New Pro.
We always say that, board to board, the people may change, but Craig is the one thing that keeps us consistent and keeps us, being the great chapter that we are.
You've really taught me and the rest of the guys how to learn from our mistakes and to use our experiences to help others. He has the advice, he has the experience, and most importantly, he has the support. He always knows the right thing to say, and that's why I love Craig.
Congratulations so much, Craig. You mean the world to us.
I would like to thank Kaya for all the support, love, and trust she gives us every day.
She will have your back, no matter what.
I always admired her.
For that, no matter what happens, she always believes that we can achieve everything.
You can count on her. She will always have your back.
As these years are passing by, I don't only see her as my Madrig, but as a very good friend.
She's our full-time mom, and I couldn't be more grateful for that.
Iftach is probably the definition of working 24/7 and being extra.
We are grateful about you and about your help and about the fact that you are like our family.
Iftach started to be a manager 3 years ago, and since that, he did also produce with us and lead our chapter to the best place that the chapter could have been.
It's more than a job for him. He really cares about us, and it shows in everything that he have done for us and still doing.
He always helped us when he needed, and he broke more than what he needed to do. And אוהבים אותך.
And you're number one, Iftach.
My mom, Rhonda Filer, has been actively involved in BBYO for as long as I can remember.
And Rhonda is so special to me because she's always there when I need her.
From the second you pulled me aside at the bus stop at New Member Weekend 2018 because you had to meet me, I knew I was in for a ride.
My mom's goal has always been to ensure that everyone has as great a BBYO experience as she had, and her commitment to that goal throughout the years is truly inspiring.
And I love her so much, and I couldn't have done anything BBYO without her, and I'm so thankful for her.
Thank you for being a role model to me and all of Memphis BBYO. I could not be more proud to call you my advisor.
We truly cannot celebrate you all enough, and we want you to know it's not just us who recognizes the power of our movement. We're excited to share with you a few messages from activists and politicians as they celebrate us and all that we've accomplished.
Hi, I'm Pennsylvania Governor Tom Wolf. It's my pleasure to welcome all of those gathered for the BBYO International Convention 2021. The International Convention looks different this year, as do so many parts of our lives. COVID-19 has kept you from gathering together in person, but it cannot keep you from learning together, laughing together, and celebrating life together. When young people gather together to learn about leadership and service, it gives me great hope for the future. So while we're facing incredible challenges, the leadership and advocacy shown by your generation is already changing the world around us each and every day. And I'm certain that this year's convention will bring many opportunities to make new friends, to develop your own leadership skills, and to celebrate your Jewish culture and heritage. I hope you all learn something new from the experiences you're going to have over the next few days. Most of all, I hope you'll remember that your voice has the power to spark change, and that when we work together, we can do incredible things. So thank you, and have a wonderful convention.
Hello, BBYO. This is Muriel Bowser, Mayor of Washington, D.C., the greatest city in the world and soon to be the 51st state. It is a pleasure to join you for this year's International Convention. The past year has thrown plenty of challenges our way, but through it all, BBYO continued to do the work and make a difference. You have inspired me and many others through your efforts to mobilize Jewish teens around voter registration, racial justice, climate change, and so much more. And while we are still facing many challenges, and the road to recovery will be a long one, I remain hopeful. I often tell our residents that united in love, we will get through this together. So it's fitting that your theme for this year's conference is United We Rise. Our strength and our power lies in the gifts that we each bring to the table. I will end with the words of another young woman who inspired me this year, poet Amanda Gorman. Her words are an important reminder to anyone who is working to make a difference in the world. For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Thank you, BBYO, and have a wonderful conference.
Hi, it's Corey Booker. Just want to welcome everybody for this great gathering, BBYO's International Convention in 2021. We know that this has been a time of great challenge for our world as we see a pandemic take over our planet, threaten so many lives, cause so much economic destruction, as well as the wretchedness of the healthcare challenge. It is in this time, under these circumstances, that you all gather with a common cause and common conviction, understanding the power of your common faith. We have in this world an urgency to tikkun olam, to heal the world. And your chesed and your tzedakah, all your commitments that you are affirming, not just as an individual, but as part of a community, that is the light of hope for the world. I am excited about your mission. I am grateful for the purpose with which you are living. May we heal our world. May we bring a greater sense of justice and love. And may this conference, this gathering, bear great fruit for the world. Thank you and congratulations, and I wish you all the best.
These are scary times. Racism, sexism, lies, violence, coronavirus. It's time to stand up for what's right. It's time for courage. We must do something. We must stop gun violence. Protect our children, our future. Let them lead the way. Make our country a safer place, a better place. Do you have the courage to fight? Please join your voice with mine. Thank you very much.
Hi, I'm Atlanta Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms. I'm excited to join you all, if even virtually, as you celebrate BBYO's 2021 International Convention. This past year has been especially challenging for all of us, but especially for our young people. I'm a mother of 4, so I know just how much your lives have been upended. Through everything, though, it's been encouraging to see the enduring spirit, enthusiasm, and leadership of young people across the United States and across the globe. You've shown inspiring resiliency by pivoting to a new normal as we navigate the COVID-19 pandemic, adjusting to virtual learning, dealing with the cancellation or postponement of extracurricular activities, finding new ways to socialize with your friends and family. A lot has been thrown at you, but I can tell you this. Young people have navigated this pandemic much better than many people my age. On top of that, when BBYO launched Vote Your Voice, you showed up. Together, you worked tirelessly to ensure that everyone who was eligible to vote was able to, especially people of color and first-time voters. You made sure that every voice was heard, and it made a difference. So it is fitting that the theme of this year's conference is United We Rise. You've shown time and time again that when we work together, anything is possible. And the sky's the limit when we allow everyone to have a seat at the table. Simply put, we are better together. I know that you'd much rather be in person. I'd much rather be with you, but I'm thankful for BBYO's commitment to providing engaging and inspiring programming safely through these virtual platforms. And it's my hope that this time next year, we can come together in person. Until then, thank you for your commitment. I trust that you will remain committed to improving our communities, and that you will remain engaged. You are our future. You represent our values of inclusivity and your push for things like racial justice and climate change are making a difference across the globe. Your voices are needed now more than ever. And all of you all, as leaders, have the ability to do that, to lead, whether it's in your community, whether it's across virtual platforms with your friends. You are leading in what you do, and we are depending on you to continue the great work. So thank you. I hope that you have an enjoyable conference, and I look forward to seeing you in person, hopefully, next year.
Hello, young people. Senator Tim Scott here. It is a pleasure to join you all virtually. You may be young, but you have a huge impact on where our society is headed. We are counting on you to lead the way. Keep serving your community, continue calling out hateful jokes and pointing out biases, and keep dreaming really big dreams. As you're making strides, I am doing what I can here in Congress and in Washington to expand your efforts. I have introduced legislation to fight anti-Semitic incidents on college campuses and will continue to fight hate and division as it arises. I am also committed to strengthening the U.S.-Israel relationship. As one of our oldest and closest allies, I know that our friends in Israel are a democratic beacon of hope. I want to encourage you all to keep up the good work. The future is in your hands, and I know that's good news. See you soon.
Hey everyone at BBYO, this is Jazz Jennings, and I just wanted to say that growing up as an LGBTQ plus person has been very difficult for me because people constantly undermine me, and I was discriminated against and told that I couldn't identify as the girl that I knew myself to be. However, I just kept pushing back and fighting and said, nope, I am a girl, this is who I am. And by being my true authentic self and loving myself unconditionally, I've been able to pave a path forward for myself. I just want to share with all of you that if you love yourself unconditionally, that you could do anything. You could shine your light and just be true to yourself. So just remember to listen to your inner voice and to listen and know who you are so that you could learn to love yourself too. And once you're able to do that, you just can be your true authentic self and not have to worry about what anyone else thinks about you. Don't let others bring you down. Always just keep moving forward and stay strong. Love you all.
Is there a motion to accept the State of the Order as presented by the 96th Grand Board of the Aleph Zadik Aleph and your 96th Grand Aleph Gadol Ben Cohen? The chair recognizes Simon Weisenthal, AZA number 2524. Is there a second? The chair recognizes Central Region West. Is there a call? The chair recognizes the 96th Grand Board of the Olive Zadi Aleph. Is there any dissent?
Dissent.
Grand-Olaf Moray, what say you? Grand-Olaf Moskir, what say you? Grand-Olaf Shaliach, what say you? Grand-Olaf Giesbor, what say you? Central Region West, what say you? Olive Zadi Aleph, what say you?
Is there a motion to accept the State of the Order as given by the 76th International Board of the B'nai B'rith Girls and your 76th International Nasiya Maya Zucker? The chair recognizes Havarim BBYO number 5371. Is there a second? The chair recognizes Greater Jersey Hudson River Region. Is there a call? The chair recognizes the 76th International Board of the B'nai B'rith Girls. Is there any dissent?
Dissent!
International Aim HaChaverot, what say you?
Maya Ursula Zucker.
International
Maya
Maskira,
Ursula
what
Zucker.
say you?
Maya Ursula Zucker.
International
Maya
Shikha,
Ursula
what
Zucker.
say you?
Maya Ursula
International
Zucker.
Gizbari,
Maya Ursula
what say
Zucker.
you?
Maya
Greater
Ursula
Jersey
Zucker.
Hudson River
Maya
Region,
Ursula
what
Zucker.
say you?
B'nai B'rith
B'nai
Girls.
B'rith Girls,
B'nai
what
B'rith
say you?
B'nai B'rith Girls. 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 B'nai B'rith Girls.
Grand-Olaf Moray, do you withdraw your dissent?
Yes.
International Aim HaChaverot, do you withdraw your dissent?
Yes.
With that, we have accepted the state of the Grand Order of the Olive Zadi Aleph.
And the International Order of the B'nai B'rith Girls.
Grand-Olaf Moray, the business of this meeting is ended. What say you?
Let us go forth into the world and practice the principles of patriotism and Judaism, the principles of honor that we preach here.
Grand-Olaf Moskir, the business of this meeting is ended. What say you?
Let us go forth into the world and show that the things patriotism and Judaism stand for are the things we value most. Let us manifest in our lives kindly deeds, unselfishness, and a desire to serve.
Al Kohen Gadol, you will lead us in prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven and in our hearts, we humbly ask Thee to help us to be worthy sons of Thee, to lead clean lives, to think clean thoughts, and to do decent deeds. Help us to be good Jews, loyal countrymen, honorable comrades, and worthy of the commendation of all good men.
Amen. My brothers, let us go out into the world and show all men we dedicate ourselves to honor, to truth, to virtue, and to justice. Thus we hasten the day when all will acknowledge the common fatherhood of God and the common brotherhood of man. I now declare this special meeting of the Olive Zadi Aleph closed. Olive Shoter Gadol, allow those present to depart in peace.
Now that our business is ended, it is our hope that we have carried our deliberations in a manner befitting the great organization of which we are a part. Let us now leave with free and joyous hearts and minds that are filled with deeds that are pure and noble. Will the Shomeret Habrit Timna Sheshin of Australia please read the closing prayer?
May you be blessed with the strength of the women who came before you. May you be fueled by the strength of your friendships and steadied by the legacies of all generations of women. May your hands be joined with those of every person, and may you band together in your quest for a brighter and stronger tomorrow.
I now declare this meeting officially adjourned. Let us join hands in a friendship circle and sing our international BBG song.
BBG, we're standing tall, we're one for all. BBG, we're here to say we'll pave the way for all the Jewish youth. BBG, we're standing here as one. Hey, BBG, for siblinghood and fun. For love and laughter turns out last. Time so good they go so fast we stand and sing with all our might. BBG, our future's so bright. So, BBG, we're standing here as one. Hey, BBG, for siblinghood and fun. Together as one, forever united. BBG, hey, BBG, hey, BBG, hey.
We pledge to thee, O BBG, our love, our youth, our loyalty. We sing to thee with joyous sounds, our voices reach the sky. From Zion came the white and blue to give these colors bold and true. Our loyal children gather round to raise our flags on high. We pledge to thee, O BBG, our love, our youth, our loyalty. We sing to thee with joyous sounds, our voices reach the sky. From Zion came the white and blue to give these colors bold and true. Our loyal children gather round to raise our flags on high.